Hello again for more of this.
This isn't Team Fortress 2. Why
Yes,
am I
it is.
here?
It's
Wait.
custom models. No,
This is a really weird server you're playing.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't even be that surprised.
Because you realize there is Binding of Isaac
In TF2,
Yeah.
as I said.
It's in a Star video, I think. He's actually quite. I'm not sure how finished it is, but I remember seeing. I think it's in a Star video.
Anyway,
Right. The defensive classes.
yes.
We talk. Catch you up to speed. Go watch the first video. We're talking about balance changes for the upcoming Pyro summer update thing. We did the Scout, the
That's a cool
Soldier,
too.
and the Pyro who didn't get any balance changes. So we are now
Pyro,
into-
no longer garbage. Joking.
literally kidding. No, they're saving that. They're saving the removal of Pyro for the actual update. So
Pyro update just removes Pyro.
that's what I want. That's my dream Pyro update. So defensive classes. The Demo Man did not get any because the Demo Man's they can't touch him because he's too good. The Heavy, however, did get some changes, and for once it's some buffs. So, across the board for all the miniguns, they have partially reverted they've done some buffs to the miniguns. So, in Love and War in 2014, they nerfed the Heavy, so you have to be firing, not revved up, firing for 2 seconds before you get to maximum accuracy and maximum damage. This is horrible, and I think they changed it quite soon afterwards, so you only have to be doing it for 1 second. This stuff, that has been floating around the game for the best part of 2 years, and it's really sad because the Heavy needs more buffs. They have now buffed him, so now you still have the 1 second rev up firing speed ramp up, but it applies to both being revved up and firing.
Yeah, so you can rev up round a corner and whatever, and stay revved up, and you keep it.
Yes, you can fire, and then once you stop firing, you're still at maximum ramp up.
As long as you stay revved up.
Yes, as long as you stay revved up. So, yes, I approve of these changes as certified Heavy main, I promise. Approve of these changes. And that's it for the Heavy on the primary weapons. The only other, he has melee weapon changes. So, this is... the first time I told you about these changes, I lied.
I know.
Yeah, I read... Sorry?
I know. I've since read them.
Yes.
That's true.
I misread them the first time. So, the gloves of running urgently have been changed. So, in a similar trend to the Atomic Punch, can you hear that?
Vaguely.
Okay, because it sounds like there's a small child, but it's just my cat. They're basically the same thing, but
Damn it.
So, in a similar trend to the Atomic Punch being nerfed, so the movement speed is very similar to its original version, the Plasma Emergent has also been changed. So, now, your max health is your maximum health, not current health, maximum health, is drained at -10 a second.
Which is interesting.
And when you put them away, you get more regenerate.
It regenerates back again.
Yes, I thought it was current health because then you could use it with a medic and abuse supercharge building. And this makes me quite sad. But okay. Yeah, it regenerates only the amount drained while active. So if you're walking out and you take a pipe from 100 damage, you have 300 health as Heavy, you drain 100 health from running, the gloves running urgently out, and you take a pipe, you only regenerate 100 from the gloves, not from all damage taken. I bet you they're going to have to hotfix that the following day, because that's going to be broken.
So which bit? Oh, how much health you regen?
That is going to be broken on the first day, and you're going to have Heavies with infinite health regeneration.
Yes.
I really look forward to that. I'm intrigued. It doesn't say how much. And also when they're deployed, the drain rate is slightly accelerated. It says, I'm intrigued. It doesn't say how long that's going to take.
What do you mean it's accelerated?
It just says it's accelerated. We don't have any.
Oh,
numbers.
when you deploy, you get a brief period of you lose more than 10 a second.
Is it more than 10 a second, or is
Yes,
it more?
but it does it more quickly for a bit, and then yeah.
I mean,
This defense 2 is really annoying me.
interestingly, it doesn't say how long it takes to regenerate. Presumably at the same time.
I
I'd
presume
guess.
so.
I'd guess plus 10 health per second, but that's interesting. You're no longer marked for death while they're active, and they also removed the damage penalty at 25%. So that's an interesting one. The eviction notice, since they buffed the eviction notice, also give you a movement speed bonus when active as well, to make them kind of like a Coke, a Diet Coke version of the gloves are running urgently. We're not sponsored, I promise. They're also given the same treatment, so you're no longer damage vulnerable while you have the eviction notice out. They still swing faster, they still do less damage than the fists, even though they're brass knuckles. And now you drain 5 health per second.
Yeah, it's max health per second.
Max health. -5 rather than -10. Regenerate is the same. It has all the same stats as the gloves, except now it's only -5.
Yeah. It's like the gloves running urgently, but less extreme.
It's Diet Coke version.
Yeah. I prefer Coke Zero.
Personality. Yeah, seems good. The Fists of Steel have been nerfed. Apparently.
I like my fit. No, sorry.
So the Fists of Steel are really, really good because they allow the heavy to basically not care about snipers, which is like.
This ship starts without shields.
Is this okay?
No, not here.
This ship starts without shield. Is this not fine?
Don't put it in an asteroid field. I'm just not going to fire my weapons.
So the Fists of Steel are really, really good because they allow the heavy to just not care about snipers, which are like arguably his main class counter, like second being the spy. Now we've nerfed them. They've nerfed them. So now you get 40% less overheal. Yes,
is that on where?
Active. So is that
crippling or where? Isn't it?
So wait, so that's hold on, that's 40% overheal reduction. So you only get 10% overheal rather than 50%.
You might get 20% if it reduces the 50% by 40%.
It's not overheal rate; it's the amount you're overhealed.
Yes, but if
I misread that.
You overheal you overheal 50% of your max HP, right?
Yeah.
If they've reduced the 50% by 40%,
yeah,
then that would reduce it by.
You go up to if you're
20.
overheal,
so you then overheal to 130% health. So you will overheal either to 130% health or to 110% health. One of the two.
At a guess, it's 110% health.
That would seem more likely.
Yes. Then also you get 40% less healing. You get a reduced healing rate of 40% while active. This is good. This is actually a buff because in the same way that you can use the back scratcher to build Ubercharge faster, because the reduced healing rate, you can use the Fist of Steel to increase healing rate while active. Using the Fist of Steel, one of the heavy's best melee weapons, that's fine. So we haven't had a nerf. We have one nerf and technically a kind of buff nerf. I mean, yeah, you still get healed slower, but you've also got Fist of Steel, so you're taking 40% less damage from ranged sources. And I think now we've got a buff. I think can we reduce the holster speed penalty on them, please? Like, it feels a bit excessive now. Because what is it, 200%? I'll have to double check. I think it's 200%. Yeah. So Fist of Steel looks good.
Yeah. What's next? Medic?
No,
engineer.
The
The engineer is engineer.
He sure is. Because
Did we both say that at the same time?
Almost. You just beat me to it. However, the engineer is only just about engineer because there's only one change, and that is a irrelevant nerf to the Rescue Ranger.
Yeah.
So, Rescue Ranger is fundamentally unchanged. You can still shoot your bolts into people or buildings. It heals buildings and kills people. Not very effective.
Oh no, sorry, no way. I was going to ask a stupid question.
You think I don't already do that? You can shoot them into people and it hurts them. You shoot them into your own buildings and it heals them. you can still pick up buildings at long range for a cost of 100 metal, and it still looks cool. So it's fundamentally unchanged. Now, bolts cost metal to heal.
Yes, only if they heal.
Only if they heal. At a rate of 4-to-1, so 60 damage costs 15 metal. To put it into perspective, the wrench heals 105 health for like 30 metal, I think. I'll look up
So
the
this
numbers.
seems to be better.
Yes, but of course you only have 4 shots and then you have to reload. So you can only heal whatever it is. Use 60 per bolt, so 240 health. Wrench. So let me just whip up the damage table for the wrench.
No, it's not, because it's, I don't know how much, each bolt repairs
60 health.
75.
No, it doesn't.
Where are you getting this from?
Did they nerf it?
It says repairing 60 damage costs 15 metal. So repairing 60 damage costs 15 metal. But the bolts repair like 75 or something each.
Oh, no, you are wrong. They heal. Wait, what?
Wait, what are you reading?
That's damage and function times. It used to heal 75, they nerfed it down to 65. Sorry, they nerfed it down to 60.
Because the patch notes don't say that it heals 60. I thought you were assuming they did.
They nerfed it down, so it used to do 75. Now it only does 60. I'm fairly certain. But yeah, okay. Rescue range now. The important thing is the rescue range now costs metal to heal. That doesn't matter.
No, not really.
Because the thing is, if you're using the rescue ranger, you're going to be in a defensive situation, most likely with a dispenser, and most likely set up near enough an ammo box anyway. Like, yeah, it's a nerf, but it's irrelevant. So, sure, it's fine. We're now onto the support classes.
Yes, support, medic.
Yes.
Medic.
I was expecting you to do that. So, we got 2 changes for the medic, and we got one to the Vitasaur and one to the Crusader's crossbow. So, I'll do the Crusader's crossbow first because this one's easy. So, this is just the patch notes overcomplicate it. You get less. You still get overcharge from healing with the Crusader's crossbow. Not that it needed to do that anyway, because it was still the best. But now you get rewarded with less uber for whipping out your crossbow mid-fight and hitting someone. You have to, like, it has its own, in the same way that the miniguns have crit heals and crit overcharge rate. The Crusader's crossbow now does as well. Yeah, it's technically a nerf, but sure.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. But what's more interesting is the Vitasaur has been changed. So, take a drink because we're going to be talking a long time on this one. So the Vitasaur in competitive is the best medic melee. He's even better than the Ubersaur, I'm not even kidding. Because in 6s and Highlander, because is it 20%? It's 20% Uber, isn't it?
Yeah, and I thought it was they fixed that bug that it could only do 19.
They fixed the bug. So it gives you can retain up to 20% of your Uber charge on death to carry over on to the next life, but you lose 10 health. So you're sacrificing a 15th of your health for a 5th of your Uber. I'm not a mathematician, but that seems like quite a good deal.
It doesn't matter. I use it. It's just good.
It's really good. Is it better in a pub? Is it better than the Ubersaur?
Probably not. The reason it's good in competitive is because, essentially, you shouldn't be using your melee as a medic. You should be healing.
Exactly. And if you, in the event, the medic doesn't get a chance to use, if he is back against wall, he may try and use his other weapons here, but in that environment, the medic's got no chance.
Yes. In a pub, you tend to end up using your melee a lot more. If you have a very good team, the person you're healing will protect you. So there will be nobody for you to melee because you should stay behind healing, and the guy will kill him. So
as a
the
medic in a
Ubersaw
pub is the best.
The Ubersaw.
As a medic in a pub, you have to be ready to get your hands dirty to deal with anything from spies to snipers to overhealed enemy heavies. You just
Yes. I do that in like competitive as well. But that's a whole thing. That's a stun bomb. Better get that.
You have like in a competitive environment though, the Vitor is the best. The use of the Vitor is so good because the passive overcharge retention it gives you is so good that the enemy medic has no choice but to run it as well.
And because you're being protected, there's no reason for you to melee enemies. And if you've got a good teammate, minus 10 health isn't very relevant because
minus 10 health isn't relevant.
If you're getting shot, your team are doing it wrong.
Exactly. Or like the enemy. Yeah. It's so good that it forces the enemy team to use it or lose in the same way that the Darwin's Danger Shield does when it comes to snipers.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that as well because that's also been changed. Instead, the Vitasaur has had a complete gutting and has been stitched back together as something completely different. You just got that joke, didn't you?
No, what do you mean? You haven't made it before.
So now, and arguably the most disturbing thing ever added to Team Fortress 2.
I don't know, the pyro is pretty bad.
Oh, since the banana hat, I think. Overcharge and death is the Vitasaur still keeps overcharge and death, but judging from these patch notes, you still get reduced health.
Yes.
Or, it doesn't say.
Yes.
It's formatted like a new weapon.
No, it says changes.
Oh. Okay.
Whereas the other ones it says new design.
Oh, okay. Fine. So organs. You can collect organs from people by slapping them with your Vitasaur. By slapping them with your Vitasaur, you get an organ from them.
I want a visual UI thing in the same way that the thing on the top fills up as you build Uber. I want there to be organs in it.
Can the medic be like holding one in his hand?
Or like pile them on his head or something. But do we go for the sector? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we go for the sector
7 abandoned?
Sector 6 abandoned.
Oh, that's risky.
No.
What's the choice? Abandoned or
Slug controlled nebula?
a slug controlled nebula?
Yeah, I don't want Melanius.
I don't think we'll get a visual thing for the organ collecting, at least in world view. Because bear in mind, it took them almost a year to give the short stops shove animation a world view.
Who cares about the short stop shove though?
Exactly, like that change does not make sense. But we're here to talk about medic, not the short stop. So medic.
Medic can now use the short stop. As instead of his medigun.
Instead of a syringe gun, that's quite cool actually. But
no, instead of his medigun, he can't heal, but he just has a short stop.
Right. So now, if you slap someone with a Vitasaur, back to the Vitasaur sword. If you slap someone with the Vitasaur, you'll gather an organ. That's horrifying. For each organ you have, you can preserve up to 50. You preserve 15% overcharge when you die, up to a maximum of 4, and caps at 60%.
Which is 4 15s.
Sure is. I think that's like in terms of like a really high risk, high reward type thing.
The problem with it is, it now fulfills the same role. It will now fulfill the same role as the Ubersaur, in that the Ubersaur is you put yourself at risk to get benefit. The Vitasaur is currently you don't put yourself at much risk, but you get a much smaller benefit. But with this, again, you put yourself at risk for benefit. The difference being, the Ubersaur gives you immediate benefit, the Vitasaur gives you long-term benefit, because you get Ubercharge later, Ubersaur gives you Ubercharge now.
I mean, I like this. I think it is a good change for the quality of the quality of life for the weapon and the game. It is a necessary change.
It fulfills a slightly different place now, though.
I think that's kind of like an Ubersaur, like it is like insurance. It's Ubersaur for the next life. I think is quite an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I think
I'll probably still use it unless it turns out to be utter garbage.
I'm definitely going to try it because, to be honest, like
I mean, I use the Vitasaur.
Yeah, it is good. I do use it sometimes, especially if you just keep dying. It's like if you're not hitting anyone with
If you
the sword,
keep dying, it means
and
you're
you
not
just
going hard enough with your Ubersaw.
you keep dying, just swap to the Vital Sword.
You failed. Oh damn it! I forgot to count the moons.
Oh, 7.
Damn it.
It's not always 7. What was it?
I don't know. They used to be able to tell which one it was based on the grammar of the event. Apparently. But anyway.
I like the Vital Sword change. I want to try it. I think it's good. It's a high risk, high reward because I like the stupid things.
It gives you high rewards now, but it also has more risk. Ah, they've hacked my doors. They're going to burn you out. They don't. Oh no, they do have a fire beam.
So yeah, Vital Sword change, sure. So Medic has seen a change and technically and enough, a slight enough, but Medic's largely untouched.
Yes.
I don't want to do the sniper. I'm just looking through the list like, oh no. So it's the scout who got like half the article. Right. The snipper, the Australian.
We spent like 20 minutes on scout.
The Australian.
Oh, that was a breach missile.
The Australian long shoot man, also known as the sniper, has received changes to 2 of his worst stroke best weapons. So, and these are the Razor. Which weapons are the worst sniper weapons? I hear you ask. The Razorback and the Darwin's Danger Shield. So,
my oxygen's disabled. Great, and I got breached in the last run.
So the Darwin's Danger Shield, as I have discussed before on the podcast episode, is a terrible weapon, but it's really good because it trades off the sniper's DM capabilities at short range from his SMG, or his ability to help the team with Jurati, or help himself with Jurati, extinguishing himself, in exchanging for improving your ability against snipers, against enemy snipers, which is one of the sniper's main roles. He was really, really good at that, but because of how it works, it gimps your other roles as a sniper. In the same way that the Vital Sword does, the Darwin's Danger Shield is amazing because of the passive benefit of being able to eat a headshot and still be alive.
Yeah.
As now, the Darwin's Danger Shield has been completely gutted into trash. So.
No, have you read the bit where it says what the goal is?
Yes. Yes, I have, and I think it's what they've done with it is hilarious. So now, the sniper is now more effective against ranged attacks. Sorry, flames, not ranged attacks.
Basically, they've made it. It gives you immunity to the flare gun.
Yes, because.
And now my ship's got no oxygen.
I understand that for a light class, a pyro.
I'm gonna have to go and stand everybody in the med bay, aren't I?
However, there is a distinct difference. You may have noticed that the pyro operates in short range, and the sniper operates at long range. How often, as a sniper, are pyros going to be running into you, stroke you running into them? Unless you're in the room, unless you shouldn't be here. That's what will happen. So now, you get afterburn. You're now immune to afterburn, and you resist 50% of fire damage. You no longer get bullet resistance, increased health, or explosion vulnerability. It's garbage.
Okay, sorry, I just had a very tense moment where I was having to run 2 people through the med bay because my ship was devoid of oxygen. Sorry.
Downstage shield. How bad is it?
It doesn't have any use now.
It's hilarious. I love it. I love it. I mean, I understand, in the same way that the Vital Sword has been changed, I think this is much less interesting than the Vital Sword. This is just, like...
It's now useless.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already got the Cozy Camper, which sort of mitigates ranged flame attacks because of the no flinching. Unless they removed that, which I don't think they did.
They nerfed that so it's reduced flinching.
Oh, okay, so...
Not zero flinching. That was silly.
It is not very useful, though.
Yes. But if you're a good sniper, you basically don't... It's basically a direct upgrade if you're a good sniper. Yeah, Danger Shield has been nerfed into oblivion and it's hilarious.
That's a glaive beam.
No, it isn't. It's a Danger Shield.
No, it's a glaive beam.
Some played it was just 120 scrap, and we said, "Oh crap," because we couldn't afford it.
And then you show up yelling, "Prepare to be boarded."
So
So we're sorry you died for the sake of our kid.
You've got to admit that gun is the shit.
So we'll salvage your bits and go back to that bender. Because the rebel defenders do not accept surrender. Even though we're not rebels, but...
That was an obscure reference.
Anyway...
The Razorback has received changes. The actual worst sniper weapon in the game, because it's useless. I don't like snipers. The best bit is when you get snipers with Razorbacks on who don't understand that they've been backstabbed. So now the Razorback has been changed, has been changed because of pocket snipers. This mainly applies to Highlander, where my understanding is that in recent years the sniper, like the nature of sniper as a class, operating at long range and his instant kill abilities, makes him incredibly effective. He's the only person who operates at long range.
Aside from the spy, oh wait. Sorry.
The sniper operates at long range. That is his bag. The problem was in Highlander, what you could do is, the sniper is a very, very oppressive force in Highlander, especially at very, very high level. If you had an engineer set up on his sentry nest with a sniper standing nearby, or like nearby other power classes, with a Razorback on, and within buffing range of a medic, he was basically unkillable. Because if a spy couldn't come in and backstab him straight away, because he had a Razorback on, if he removed his disguise, he would be shredded by either the combo, the other power classes, or the sentry. And other snipers, depending on their skill, were unlikely to be able to take him on, because sniping is sniper duels are a battle of quickscopes, and he's got the advantage because if he's on defense, you can just stand there permanently scoped in. So now the Razorback, you can't get overhealed while you have a Razorback on.
Which seems like a really retarded change, except in high-level competitive, because in casual, who the hell overheals a Razorback sniper?
Like, sure, you may give them a buff if they're walking past, but...
Yeah, but like...
Medic operates on the front lines, sniper operates behind the front lines. Like, unless they're like a huntsman
if you're healing the
sniper,
sniper, you're playing him.
Like, unless like, it's a huntsman sniper and they've got a Razorback on.
This is what you made me do. I forgot to fire my weapons. I was sitting there ionising their shields.
But now the Razorback regenerates after 30 seconds. To compensate for that, I don't use the Razorback. I don't think I've ever used it.
I don't think I even have a Razorback.
I had to. The Razorback has been nerfed. Highlander players rejoice.
Selling Razorbacks for just 120 scrap. That's a bit pricey for a Razorback.
Even a strange Razorback will only set you back like 2
Does that
scrap.
count backstabs?
You count spies shocked. So yes, backstabs. I mean, that's the static count. It counts spies shocked.
Do you have one?
Speak of. Yes, not a strange one, but I do have a Razorback. Yeah. I have one of the unique weapons. I don't have like the reskins like the machete and everything. So speak of the French devil, baguette waving surrender monkey. The spy has had some pretty interesting nerfs. Nerfs across the board. Changes of note. I'm going to talk first because you have more opinions on these because you play spy more often than I do, and these will only more than I do because I don't like these weapons. So the big one is, well, there's two big. The two big ones are the ambassador has been nerfed after a century, and the dead ringer has once again fallen under the hammer. So I'm actually going to look it up in the tab. The last time the ambassador was changed. So now, the problem was that spy ambassador is perfectly accurate on its first shot, and 102 damage across the map is kind of silly. Valve recognised that it is kind of silly because that is the spy now infringing on the sniper's territory, and it was like players would get headshots at long range and then go, oh, So then the kill cam zooms in, and it's actually a spy, not a sniper. That's a bit weird. So now, bullet spread on the first shot is only 50% more accurate. It's not 100% accurate. That's the big thing. There are some pictures on Reddit of people testing this on their own servers, messing with the bullet spread. The main thing is that at close range and medium range, the accuracy is basically unchanged. You can still headshot people. It's at like long and extreme ranges that the ambassador has been reduced in effectiveness. That is the only change.
Yeah. Which I think makes sense. They maybe could have done it a different way. Like, my thought was make it so that past a certain range, it didn't crit.
Yeah, like I've seen on their comments in the thread, it's been like maybe mini crit or not even crit at all at extreme ranges, and that's the only thing I can think of to mess with it. The ambassador, if you can't headshot with it, the ambassador is just a worse revolver.
Yeah, because it fires slower and does less damage.
Does less damage. Yes, 15% less.
No.
Yeah, 50% less damage, 20% slower, no random crits. But it crits and headshot. I mean, it is just a worse revolver if you can't aim with headshots.
Yeah.
I think the only thing you could do to mess with the ambassador is, without fundamentally changing the weapon, would be to interact with how it acts at long range.
Which is what they've done.
Yeah. I think 50%. I think the accuracy is an interest. I understand what they're doing. I'm not sure how the accuracy would work out. I mean, is there nothing stopping them from just doing like only mini crits, or doesn't even crit at all past a certain range?
Well, I mean, the other thing here is that you will still get the occasional headshot at long range.
It's not to say that like it just gets no headshots past a certain range. Which
is another thing, because if you just made it so it's just less reliable at long range, I guess is what they're going for.
Yeah, it's, like you're very much capable.
It's a reasonable change, and I don't think it's too harsh or anything.
I think there's a lot of very, very salty spy mains.
But I think it makes sense. This means you won't get hit from across the map by a hacker as well. But then that's a bit of a niche scenario.
Yeah, personally, I don't like I approve of this change because I dislike how the spy can do that. Like, that is kind of, when it comes to this, the range that the ambassador has kind of treads on the sniper's toes, I think. And I get really, really salty about good spies. So, yeah, I like this change. But ambassador, when was the last time it was changed? It was added in 2009. But okay, it used to mini crit on headshot. May 29th, 2009 patch fixed the ambassador not dealing damage to buildings. Yeah, it received extensive changes during 2009, mainly shortly after it was added, mainly revolving around revolving. That wasn't even intentional. Around it about headshots and things and bugs. But then last time it received major changes. It received a description update in Gunmetal. 2014 it received an update to the texture, so the handle changed, so it was less red on blue team. Australian version in November, added collector's version. Festive Ambassador in 2012, and they messed with it has not received any significant changes since 2009, which was May 26th, 2009. Ambassador now deals 4 critical hits on headshots instead of mini crits. Yeah, ambassador change. I like the ambassador change. You seem to as well, or at least don't seem to hate it. Yeah, I understand what they're doing. I think there's some people who are making it out to be a lot worse than it is. I think it's fine. Like, at medium range and short range, it's largely the same. So, yeah. So, I'm going to come on to number 2 in a minute because that's going to take a long time.
Number 2? Yes, it is.
Yes. So your eternal reward is unsurprisingly the second least equipped spy knife
So,
after the Wonga.
for those people who don't know what it does, essentially, if you have it equipped, you cannot disguise with a disguise menu. You don't have a disguise menu, don't have a disguise kit, but upon backstabbing somebody, as long as they die,
Face stabs do count. Face stabs do count.
I mean, I'm still thinking the old days when the dead ringer could block backstabs and then it wouldn't do it. You immediately, pretty much, there's technically a delay, but it disguises you as the person you backstabbed.
I think it's like
also,
0.2 seconds, I think, for the disguise.
How much?
0.2 seconds.
Okay. Also,
Like,
if you get a kill with it, the body disappears, so it doesn't leave a body. They don't make a death noise, although you can still hear the sound of the knife going in. There is a slight stab noise, but there's also no message dropped in the kill feed.
For the enemy team, for your team it is, but for the enemy team it isn't.
Is it? Oh.
So your teammates can still see what picks are being made.
Fair enough. The person who got killed will still see you and will see a message in the kill feed, but the rest of the team don't.
But you can't disguise. That's the big thing. You can't disguise.
Yes, but upon getting a backstab, it disguises you as the victim. And also, if you backstab somebody who is being healed by a medic, the medigun beam transfers to you, which doesn't happen very often, but is a thing.
And also, if you backstab someone if you're undisguised and backstab someone while a sentry can see you, the sentry will instantly stop targeting you. Whereas if with any other knife, if you become disguised, if you disguise within sight of a sentry, the sentry will keep shooting. The only other knife that shares this attribute is the kunai, for reasons unknown. I'm not even. They may have changed that. I'll look it up, but it used. I'm not sure if it still does, but when I fixed it up, it was like, yeah, you can. If you disguise it with the kunai up, you can't. Sentries won't target you. Okay.
Welcome to Team Fortress 2.
After 9 years in development, we will have been worth the wait.
My favourite class is the spy.
Thanks and have fun. So... Sorry, there's a cat in the background.
I can tell. Booby trap the cat. I have 41 missiles.
Gross. Is it even read? Is it even mentioned in here in patches? Oh, meet your match update number 1 on July 7th. Fix disguising with the kunai while spotted by a sentry, causing the sentry to ignore the spy. God damn it! It used to do that.
It's such a weird bug as well.
It's not even a bug, presumably because it was using. I think it was because it was using parts of the original version was. I think. I'm not sure how long the kunai was in development for, but I think it was
9 years.
No, because it came with Shogun, Total War Shogun.
Yes,
2011. I think
Max Combat Skill NG.
It was added in the same year as the Your Eternal Reward, I'm fairly certain. So, as far as I believe, actually, the Your Eternal Reward the kunai used was originally the Your Eternal Reward, but then they gave it different stats. Oh, sorry, 2010 was Your Eternal Reward. Yeah, so the year and the Wonga Prick have been buffed. So now you can disguise with it up. You now have a disguise kit. You still gain a disguise on backstab, but if you use your disguise kit to cloak, to disguise, it eats your entire cloak meter.
Yeah.
But your cloak drain rate is increased by 50%.
Which means that you actually don't. Oh dear. Sensors come back online, and there's a room with 4 fires in it. Somebody go man the doors.
Is it here an airlock?
Yeah. It's also right next to the shield room, though.
Fair enough. So why do they fair enough? That's not a good thing. So you get. I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to make it more usable. The thing is, The Dead Ringer has this kind of little cult around it where...
Wait, we switched over to the Dead Ringer now, aren't we?
Sorry, not the Dead Ringer. Your Eternal Reward. Dead Ringer does not have a cult around it. It's like, if there is a cult around it, everyone in the game is in the cult. So, your Eternal Reward. I dislike the fact it drains your cloak faster. To put that into perspective, you get 5 seconds with the.
Well, how long does the stock Invis watch last?
10 seconds, effectively 9 seconds, including cloaking and decloaking. So you get 10 seconds in total.
Yeah.
Cloak and dagger gives you.
Well, yeah, but so in the Invis watch, you reckon that this will give you 55 seconds.
Yes.
It actually gives you 6.6. Cloak drains 50% faster, so cloak drains at 150% rate, so you use 1.5 seconds of cloak for every second you are cloaked.
Okay.
So cloaking for 2 seconds uses 3 seconds worth of cloak.
Yeah.
So 10 seconds worth of cloak is 2/3 of a second. So it's 2/3 times 10, so it's just over 6.5 seconds. So 9 seconds of cloak lasts you for 6 seconds, not 4.5.
Okay. The cloak and dagger. The cloak and dagger, because it's movement based. I'm going to go for the runnings. It gives you if you are running with the cloak and dagger forwards, it gives you 6.6.
Does it last longer if you run backwards? I guess it would, wouldn't it?
Yes, because you move slower. It moves when crouching. You get a minute. You get almost a minute.
Yes, but you can only make it the same distance, can't you? You can't make it any further though.
You get 58. You get almost 59 seconds of cloaking if you're crouch walking.
But you don't go any further though.
No, you don't. I don't think so.
It's not a valid strategy.
The Dead Ringer gives you. Oh Christ!
It's complicated because it drains on you.
Gives you 7 seconds. Yes, because it gives you 7 seconds. Because it drains 50%. It would give you 14 seconds, but you get. On the first hit, you lose 50% cloak.
Yeah.
So you get 7 seconds. So you only get like what, 4 seconds, just over. Not even that.
Damn it. No good. Missed.
Okay. The point is that you are more dependent. So I've just had a sudden revelation. So now with your Eternal Reward, you're more dependent on your disguise kit than your Invis watches.
Yes.
However, like for the rules of TF2, number 1 is that everyone is a spy.
Yeah.
And having a disguise kit largely doesn't make much of a difference.
As somebody who uses your Eternal Reward, the massive change
I
that this
don't use it.
the massive change this does is the problem with your Eternal Reward is getting the first disguise. Your Eternal Reward is amazing at chain stabs because it's very often nobody notices you because you just keep redisguising. And there's no I backstab. There's a spy. You turn round. There's just a member of your team. There isn't even a corpse because it goes invisible. There's just the member of your team that you knew was there. He's standing there, so you're like, oh, fine. But then he kills you. The problem was always you start the round. I've got to get behind them and get a backstab without a disguise, which is difficult.
Yeah.
Now, at the start of the round, you don't need your cloak because you can use a resupply locker, for example. And the other problem is, if you mess up, so you fail to get a backstab where you have to use your revolver, you lose your disguise. Now, you can use your cloak to get it back. And you can wait for your cloak, or you can pick up ammo. So...
it's a bit less needlessly punishing. And you've got to remember, if you're using it with the Saharan spy set, so combine it with the Letranger, you're 40% more cloak, so you're getting an extra second or two.
And also, if you're using it 50% faster, but there's 40% more of it, it will be pretty similar to normal, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't won the scrap.
Default Invis watch gives you, if you have a Letranger, gives you 14 seconds. Which is insane.
Just under 10 seconds you get with your new YER.
Yeah. I mean, So it's a bit less. I always felt the Euroterminal reward was strong in its own ways, but kind of a bit needlessly punishing.
Once you get going with it, it's amazing.
But that's like the startup time.
Do I want a backup battery? Not really.
The startup time was a little bit punishing.
Trick stabs are very useful. Unfortunately, I can't trick stab.
Me neither. I did one once by accident. I'm quite good at like matadors or whatever they're called, the ones where you like go round them as they come around the corner, whatever that one's called.
A corner stab.
Yeah, that one. As in, like, I can pull it off about 50% of the time against bad players. I like playing Spy, but I'm not very good because I just get annoyed because I don't have a grenade launcher.
First world problems. I don't play Spy because you don't get a grenade launcher.
Oh, I'm excited for the next update. Spy not having a grenade
It's
launcher.
called randomizer.
True. Right. But here's the big one for this update. The Dead Ringer has now had another nail in its coffin. So now, they've said to make it less. They don't want to make it less interesting. They want to make it more predictable. Like, regardless of whether or not you, because me and him have very different opinions on this.
Yes.
I think I dislike the Dead Ringer on a conceptual level. Like, I think, problem is, regardless of your opinion on it, the Dead Ringer is a very, how to put this, very, it's a very obnoxious weapon. The way it's used and the way that Valve originally intended it to be used are quite different. And like, it is very spammy. I'm sure you'd agree with that, right?
Yeah, having used it, it is something that you go, well, it depends, because if you play aggressively,
Yeah.
you don't have it up all the time. But the problem with it is that it's time.
Yeah.
If it's only half up, you can say, you know what, I'm just going to hang back, wait for it to be ready. Which is not too punishing, because it doesn't take that long.
Can I get a number? Can I get a number on the recharge time for it? I mean, that's without picking up ammo boxes.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you,
get
and
that
especially
stuff,
always remember, if you kill somebody, there's drops an ammo pack.
yeah.
So you can pick that up.
You get,
And if you're also using the big earner, then you should be shot for using the big earner.
that's good.
Yeah, used to be terrible.
Yeah, it used to be garbage. Now it's got a speed buff. Because it did have an upside on it, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it did do something, but it wasn't relevant. How much cloak does it give you back?
I don't know. It's like
25% or 30% or something?
not enough to be relevant.
Exactly, in the original. But now it gives you speed boost. It's actually really, really popular. That's a sharp dresser. not a...
I want the sharp dresser.
It's cool. I want a pretty machete. Big earner, 30% cloak on kill. Get a speed boost on kill, minus 25% max health. So minus 25 max health. Yeah, big gun is quite popular now. So
Last
Dead
stand.
Ringer. Okay, so back to the shack that is the Dead Ringer. Regardless of what people's opinions are on it, it is an obnoxious weapon. Like the ability, it is, and now it's got arguably the speed boost that was given in Break or Gunmetal made things worse. Like, it's not uncommon to see spies. You're in a fight with a spy, they'll pop a Dead Ringer and instantly decloak, but now they're faster, so they're harder to hit, and they can just get away from you easier.
That's a lot of drones.
So
Combat 1, a beam 1, and a beam 2. Wow. But if we explain the original the really old Dead Ringer.
the unfair.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get up the change log. Okay.
So the old Dead Ringer was insanely overpowered. And I will admit that.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just looking through the... Because you know it was added in Sniper vs. Spy in 2009.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I'm just reading... June 23rd, 2009 patch, it got buffed. I'm not even kidding, it got buffed.
What was it originally? What was the buff?
Doesn't give original stats.
What was the buff?
Right, June 23rd, 2009. Deadringer's cloak consume rate has been slightly reduced, giving an extra second or so. Emerging from this item's cloak now drains up to 40% of the cloak meter instead of 100%. This drain only happens if the meter is at least 60% full. Okay. Deadringer's cloak meter can now be regenerated from ammo sources. The extra cloak powers, damage reduction and no flickering, are not extended by obtaining ammo. Being attacked while
That
taunting,
explains it.
being attacked while taunting with the Deadringer out no longer triggers the cloak, but instead keeps the damage reduction. That's the first version. As far as that was the first version. That's the version we're familiar with. 2013, the housekeeper was called. It didn't even have a name. It was just called the Summer Update. July 23rd, July 10th, 23rd patch. Change attribute. When under the effect of feign death, damage taken decreases over the duration of the effect. So you start off at 90% damage reduction,
which is enough to survive a backstab as long as you have at least 6 health. Oh, no, it's 2 health or something. Yeah,
so
you need to
two health with no random crits.
Yeah, but like you needed if you have basically you could survive backstabs, which was silly. Multiple backstabs, like you get backstabbed while cloaked under the Deadringer. It was very silly.
That I really hate that version because the whole point of the backstab is the backstab kills everything except other Deadringer's players, and that's that kind of undermines the integrity of the game.
Right, I don't have a teleporter. This would be interesting.
Teleporter going up. Okay, so tough break update.
Please don't hack anything important. No, they hacked the shields.
Okay, so I tell a lie. It wasn't 90% damage reduction. It was 70. No, sorry. Okay, gunmetal update. The Deadringer was completely changed. Kept the same mechanics, but all the numbers were changed around. The cloak regeneration rate was reduced. You no longer get stuff from dispensers and ammo, but cloak from dispensers and ammo boxes while invisible.
Yeah.
You get a 3-second speed boost. The damage reduction on the first hit was reduced from 75% to 65%, and then after the speed boost wears off, you're under ordinary cloak conditions. Now, you're right there.
Sorry, why did I jump to this sector? Oh, there's ASB here, and my weapons are still hacked, even though I've jumped away.
What? Okay, they have only made one change to the Deadringer, and that is ammo kits and dispensers no longer refill the spice cloak meter full stop. No, while invisible, just no cloak from anywhere. Screw you. I'll put it out there. I love this change. Absolutely. Henry, what are your opinions on the Deadringer change?
I'm not sure it's actually entirely needed. That's an ASB target locked. It missed. It's not going well.
I feel like the Deadringer is kind of in a place where I don't think you can really do anything to it without destroying
Okay, there we go. Hack the sensors. This is doable now.
What I'm actually saying is, I don't think you can make any real change to the Deadringer without, destroying the weapon.
Yeah.
I think, in the same way that I remember you mentioning this a long time ago, when they nerfed the lock and load, so it only did extra damage against buildings, it destroyed the lock and load. And it was replaced with a worse grenade.
That's my medbay. Oh, first arm too.
Attention.
Double
this is a trend we've been seeing recently is weapons being effectively removed from the game to be replaced with more balanced versions. We've seen it with the Persian Persuader, we've seen it with the Cladmore, now we've seen it with... What else have we seen it with? The Vitasaur now as well, possibly. Because remember, these changes aren't definitive. The Sandman is seeing significant enough changes. The Pocket Pistol's been replaced. The Guillotine has now been replaced.
Yeah.
Danger Shield has. No, there's a lot of complete reworks, which is interesting. Both the gloves and the eviction notes have seen moderate changes. We've seen rather than tweaking existing things, we've seen a lot of pre-existing weapons kind of being gutted and replaced with different stats. I think the Dead Ringer, I don't think you can do that to the Dead Ringer.
Here we go.
The Dead Ringer is entirely unique, but I dislike it on a conceptual level. I am very iffy with it, but I don't think you can really do much about it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I understand them saying that you can spam it a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think we need to wait and see how it plays out, because it might still be fine.
I mean, to be honest, everyone was. I mean,
not picking up ammo might still be fine. It might cripple the Dead Ringer. It might not.
So the thing is, as a spy, you don't. I understand it is like the best. It is the best possible play to wait for your Dead Ringer to be recharged. But once your Dead Ringer wears out, there's literally nothing stopping you from going on and keep stabbing some more idiots.
Yes, except if I wait for my Dead Ringer, I'll have a Dead Ringer, so I won't get killed, because the Dead Ringer makes you immortal. I've got a hull beam.
Sorry. You don't. There's nothing stopping you from going in without the safety net, but like, if I had the choice, if I literally just had to wait for it to recharge, why would I not wait for the safety net?
Yeah.
Because while I sometimes still use it, I've always tried, like recently, since I got back into TF2 a little while, about 2 years ago now, I've been trying to, when I play Spy, I always try and stay away from the Dead Ringer because it encourages bad habits. Because like, the Spy is
a boarding drone.
The Spy is based across around being sneaky, and the Dead Ringer kind of doesn't quite defeat it, but the way it's used is the way the Dead Ringer is used is it is a bit defeats the original intention of the class.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift. Yeah. And that's the big one. Spy mains. That's the big one. Spy mains across the internet are crying out that their favourite class has been nerfed. And I think, yeah, I don't.
To be honest, I don't think it really needed it. Well, no, it needed something. I don't know how this is going to.
It needed something, but like because I'm very, very serious with this. I think that I'm fine with almost all weapons in the game. If I had to remove one, it would be the Dead Ringer. But I understand that if you did do that, Spy would become even worse than he already is. Especially,
I forgot that could shoot down crystals.
Spy would become even worse in a game where he is kind of at the bottom of the barrel. Like, there's not much point making the worst class worse, if that makes sense. Because Spy is the worst class. In terms of
my everything.
In terms of like consistency, the Spy is the worst class. He's better in a pub setting, but yeah, I don't think there's not really much point in making the Spy worse, because he's already bad. But I don't think there's really much you can do to the Dead Ringer at this point, apart from remove it from the game to nerf it, really. Like,
yeah.
It is what it is, and I don't think there's anything you can really do to change that. But now I'm kind of going around in circles, so how many minutes are we at?
59, but I'm on stage 2.
Right.
The flagship.
I'm excited for these balance changes. I'll see you in the next video. It may actually be playing.
Yeah, I'm going to finish this FTL run.
I'm going to leave.
Okay.
Bye. Enough the Dead Ringer.
Oh, that's him gone. There's no oxygen there, is there? Yeah, the level 3 oxygen should be able to replenish the oxygen in there. There we go. Right, you get up there and help refill. Just turn on the oxygen. Just because I should probably heal my dudes. So yeah. Just put power back in there again. They're gonna board me. This is where the crystal lockdown comes into play. I'm happy with that. No. Go mind the doors then. This is not good. Need to help with that. That's a super weapon. Please dodge it. Oh, dodge everything. I need to. Alright. Managed to kill all their crew. What? I think I got this, maybe. Wait, have I got anybody? Oh, max weapons. Right, I need to. I think I might be able to get this. getting that in. Ooh, ooh. Oh, there we go. Job done. As long as this won't kill me, it doesn't have enough damage. We go 9 hull left. Whew, goodbye.